My guest today is quite fascinating. She's been an opera singer on international stages. She's been a college professor, and she is a leadership coach about Reinvention Architect. Her gift is about how do we bring our voice, our power, and personal presence and warmth, no matter where we are on the stages, in the corporate environment, in the boardroom, in team meetings, or in the family and community. You will get to hear my guest and a dear colleague who has a wonderful book, which I've read and I highly recommend it. You are the architect of your life. Adria Firestone is here and she will share wonderful stories with us. Welcome, Adria, and let's get started. Tell us, first of all, where are you joining us from?
I could say I was joining you from another planet because sometimes it feels like that. But let me give you the appropriate accent. I'm here in New Jersey, all right?
New Jersey.
I'm in New Jersey. Yeah.
There's a way to say it in New Jersey. That's right.
You can't just say I'm in New Jersey. That's boring.
That's right. And so if you walk outside your residence, what do you see that is your favorite hangout?
Ironically, Aditya, a home moved for me from outside places to inside myself. Yeah. Because when you're on the road for as long as I was on the road, home is not going to feel like a hotel room, even though I would bring my incense so that it would smell like home. But nevertheless, I love nature. I love to look at nature. But the home feeling is, for me, is safety and silence in the morning and sitting with my cat, who is in so many ways wiser than I am. She has this sense of confidence and independence, knows exactly who she is, and she has me wrapped around her little paw. Yeah. And I meditate, and she loves when I meditate because she comes and sits on my heart. And that, to me, is some tangible silence and safety. Yeah. It's not about doing things. It's not even about the space. Yes, I have some beautiful things in my space that are from my travels. Yeah. But I learned that home was here inside of me. Yes. It was not a place, actually, not a physical place.
That's right. That's beautiful. What is your cat's name? There are a lot of cat lovers, I'm learning.
Her name is Precious, and she knows it. Precious.
Of course, right away my mind goes to Lord of the Ring, Precious.
And Precious may very well join us. You never know with
Absolutely. Her. Precious, join us whenever you can. And in your book and your website, your writings, you talk about your life looked good from the outside.
Oh, it looked fabulous from the outside.
You looked fabulous. And then somehow it didn't feel like your life. Bring us to an inside story. What was it? What people saw? Because I'm sure it took a lot of energy and work to accomplish that, but it didn't feel like yours. Tell us about that duality.
It is indeed a duality because one part of going to the stage, I like to say that I ran away to the circus when I was 10 years old, except my circus was the stage and the music that I loved. Yeah. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in real. And I think one of the things, Aditya, that I learned was, and I was looking for, to love and be loved without abandoning myself.
That's right.
And when you're on the stage, I didn't realize that I was escaping danger. I didn't see it that way at that time. I saw it as I was escaping to a world that was far more beautiful, where I could be as intense as I wanted to. Yeah. I could scream as long as I screamed on pitch and followed the conductor.
Yeah.
And if I did that, and I had all these fabulous characters to hide behind, and I put the avatar of Carmen over me, and she had so much more confidence than I did. She was absolutely confident. She was afraid of nothing.
I've seen your videos. You are there, you're commanding the stage and the cast.
Yes. And that, to be able to achieve that depth of mastery of a craft is a very beautiful thing. But what I loved about it is the release that it gave me that my life did not give me, but the characters.
What kind of release was it?
To be able to be as passionate and as intense as Adria is, as I am.
Yes.
But in life, I didn't fit in. I never fit in school.
Yes.
And I had this marvelous story. My goodness, this just popped into my head. Adishir, I was doing Showboat with Houston Grand Opera, and I was doing Julie. And
Showboat, that classic movie, and the
classic movie.
I love that.
I was doing He's Just My Bill, an ordinary guy. And so the gal who was singing and dancing, part of the dance couple on the Showboat, she said, "My mother wants to talk to you." And I said to myself, "I don't know your mother." And then she said she was at Nova High School. And I said, and she was the acting teacher. And I said, "You mean the beautiful blonde lady, Mrs. Hall?" And Mrs. Hall wanted to talk to me. And she, on the phone, said to me, "Adria, I cannot tell you how proud I am of you. And I have to tell you that we wanted to choose you every time you auditioned because you were the best. But because you were a freshman, we couldn't give you the roles. And I just want you to know that. I just want you to know that." I said, "This is an incredible gift that you're giving me," because finally I left the high school and I was going to the college across the way. And that's where I started getting roles instantly. So it was very satisfying to be, one of the values of my life is beauty, to be involved in such beauty. When you hear another human, even though I do it, even though I know how to teach people how to do it, when I hear a colleague of mine sing, Adishir, I look at them and I'm in amazement to hear that beautiful sound coming out of them. It's extraordinary. It's an extraordinary thing to hear a singer, especially an opera singer. But I love all kinds of music because I had one foot in musical theater and the other foot was in opera.
Your voice has a quality of a lullaby. Almost the moment I listen to it, being a psychologist, my nervous system, it almost comes online. I feel I'm safe here. I'm protected. There's a power around me. There's something about it. So I'm just guessing people in the audience listening to you, it must have been like a therapy for them. It says, "Oh my gosh," they just felt it. There's something very unique, very wholesome, very almost like from heart to heart that I experienced that.
And it is. I feel that way. When I sing, it's an extension of whether I'm speaking to you or I'm singing to you. My singing voice and my speaking voice are very similar. Okay. And it is using more breath, a little more breath. But when I speak, I use my whole body to speak. I don't speak from here up. I use my entire body to speak.
I want to learn that. Yes.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing. It makes a big difference. It changes the color, it changes the depth, and it changes the contact you have with people. Breath and voice is astounding. People don't realize how much presence requires the good use of breath.
That's right. So you do this work that you're like your breath as your power of your authentic power, presence, connection.
Absolutely, because everything is vibration.
That's right.
Everything is vibration. If we were bright enough at this moment in Earth School to change our vibration, we would be able to walk through the wall and then come back through the wall because it's all vibrating. So you can imagine when vibration comes from another human, it is as unique as our fingerprints, as our DNA, as our voice print. It is a unique thing. Because you're designed a certain way, the hard palate, the soft palate, the sinuses give you a certain resonance. It depends on how you're built. And that is unique to you.
So let me ask you a question. You've had multiple roles in your life so far.
Oh, yes.
As a stage performer, as a coach, as a spouse, you've taught, as an author. What role do you identify with right now? Is there a dominant role, or is it a combination of all of those roles in you?
Do you mean, let me make sure I'm understanding. You're asking if there is a relationship with who I am now with any of the roles that I played?
More personal, that as you think about yourself, whether you're meeting people, whether you get on the call, you get on this podcast, which version of Adria is showing up? Let me give an example. So when people ask me, I'm an immigrant.
Yes.
They lived in New York and now live in California. And professionally, I've been in corporate in the space of leadership, change, transformation. But deep down, I'm a skeptical psychologist, scientist trying to crack the code and challenge mental health models. My only focus is that mental health, especially depression, they are not illnesses, they're wake-up calls. They're data.
I agree.
That's the only lens that I have. I may go here and there, but I have a sole focus. I'm curious, when you think about yourself, what are you doing each day? What role or roles come up for you?
Ironically, I think it is wonderful that I was able to play so many roles. The positive archetype, the negative archetype, the positive anima, all of these different characters that I played. Because I was able to explore many facets of myself that some people never get a chance to explore. But I guess the largest character that made a difference in me, because it's also how you play a character.
Yeah.
For example, I never played Carmen as she's just sexy, she's just trying to seduce everybody around her. No, she thought that was great fun, and it was part of her survival skills. But at a certain point in my life, when I was ready to walk off the stage, I realized that I wasn't the woman of the first or the second act anymore. I was the woman of the fourth act who says, laissez-moi passer. Just let me go by or kill me. I don't care. I'm going. That's all of that stuff was gone. And it was like, this is who I am. And if you like it, that's wonderful. If you don't like it, that's okay too. It is the coming home to myself is, in a sense, I have a picture of me as a little girl that I was in a tree. I could escape my tormentors because I could climb a tree really fast, even when I was 3. And I'm clinging to a branch. And that's still, I can do that. That is something inside of me. And there's another picture where I'm like this. And that's the essential me, is this joy of living that I've come back to. Of being. And when my joy turns on, it surprises even me. And it's coming home to yourself. I'm not trying to be anybody anymore.
That's right.
Because I've been so many people, and I did hide behind them. I admit it. I hid in the spotlight for 40 years of my life. I walked on stage when I was 10. I didn't walk off until I was 50. That's a long time.
That's right. And you had an option to be all this different, wonderful, extravagant, loud,
male, female, old, young, ugly, beautiful. It was all these different animals that I could be.
That's right.
And that's wonderful because you have a chance for exploration.
That's right. That's right.
And you're safe on stage. That's why I went there. I was safe. Nobody could hurt me on stage. I loved rehearsal even more than performance because I could explore and push the envelope as far as I wanted.
Why was it you were safe on stage?
Because I was not safe in my home. Had now, don't get me wrong. I do believe that we choose our parents. I believe that the soul says, I want to learn A, B, and C, and I think I'll pick those two. Now, my logical brain says, why on earth did you do that, Adria?
That's right. That's right.
What? Were they great teachers? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Yes, they were. These were some of the greatest lessons that I ever learned in my life.
Yes.
But what I learned was, at first, for many years, one, if somebody said they loved you, they didn't mean it, and they were going to use you. They were going to abuse you. They were going to use you as a magnet to get attention, to get money, to get people to invest in their scams. Yeah. And it was a terrible feeling. But ironically, I didn't understand that until I walked off stage. I fell into a depression because I didn't know who I was anymore. Yes. And I said to myself, wait a minute. You were not in a loving situation, were you? You better start healing right now. And that's when I started intense personal work. I was always very spiritually interested in all that stuff.
What was the work you did, intense personal work? What did you actually do?
Okay. Therapy, psychologist, psychotherapist, EMDR, NLP, learning modalities, even myself, so that I could help others and help myself. Hypnosis. I was ready to meet a witch doctor at midnight at the crossroads because I realized that I was far more damaged than I knew, which when you lose trust, you don't trust anybody after a while. You're always defending yourself.
That's right.
And I know how to do that well. I can put on this front that is very showbiz. I can be very charming, and I put that in quotes, but I keep you at a distance.
You talk about your approach to people, to life. You use the word trust and safety as something you experienced. You felt you didn't have them many times in life, safety and trust.
I did not.
And yet you felt when you were on the stage, given the character, given the direction, everyone had a role. If people were mean or loving, it was scripted. There were no surprises. As though you followed that, so it almost like it was a make-believe life. Then you came off the stage and realized, whoa, people can be abusive, take advantage of you. What are they really after? And you had to learn to fend off for yourself. You had to go for your own healing. As you did that, you went journey of healing, setting boundaries. How did you find coming home? The reason I ask this question, there's a notion that almost coming home, suddenly one day you wake up, you're home. This is a journey, almost 40 years journey of, so what was that journey like? And when did you realize I'm just sort of home?
It didn't happen after the 40 years. It took probably another 20, because after the 40 years, I was backstage and getting ready to do another Carmen. And literally I heard a voice, and there was nobody around except me. I was doing my yoga with one leg up on a stage ladder, and I was just doing my stretches. And I heard a voice that said, "This is the last Carmen you will ever do." And I went, "What do you mean the last Carmen I'll ever do? This has been my life."
Yeah.
And yet inside of me, I knew I was hearing the truth. And I knew it was time to leave. And so I did that performance. I completed the rest of the performance for another 2 years of contracts that I had. I didn't sign any new contracts. And I walked off stage. When I walked off stage, I didn't say anything to anybody. I just stopped.
Yeah.
And I felt a tremendous loss.
Yeah.
Because I had no definition anymore. Because if you asked me in the past, who are you? Oh, I'm a singer.
So what you did, I want to capture this and come back. So you realized what you were doing didn't fulfill you anymore. And then is the hero journey, looking back, no more. You need to look forward and then says, so what do I do now?
And to me, it was blank. There was I saw nothing in front of me. Okay. I had met this lovely man who was a beautiful carpenter, and we got together and I started a business for him. I ran a construction business. I was even a general contractor. We flipped houses. We redid houses. Wow. I didn't know anything about construction. I learned really fast. But then I started teaching at the university too. And so what happened is all at the same time, I was doing all these studies to heal myself. And I was also, I went to school to become a coach because I remembered one day as we were getting ready to move, I was sitting on the floor going through some scrapbooks and saying, should I get rid of these scrapbooks because they're heavy and should I keep them? And I opened up a few of the notes that people give you at the end of a show. And it was, oh, Adria, you were the most wonderful Amneri Sinaida. But Adria, you as a human, you changed my life. Thank you. And I read enough of messages like that and I started crying. And I said, wait a minute. These are breadcrumbs. You better become a coach because people are coming to you anyway and telling you about their life.
These are breadcrumbs. You use that?
Breadcrumbs that you follow.
This is so important. In fact, there isn't again, we should come back to this, that what I share with people, that life doesn't give you a manuscript. No. Life shows up as breadcrumbs, inclination, a voice or something, intuition says, I'm done with that. I'm relationship manager, company. Yes. And initial reaction is that, why did that doesn't make sense? But these are breadcrumbs. To just listen to, because that one leads to the next one, to the next one, to the next one.
To the next one and the next one.
That's right.
And so all of those things, because I was so panic-stricken at not knowing who I was anymore, I was going to school as a coach, teaching at the university and running a construction company and flipping houses. Yeah. So that's an awful lot. Okay. And then I discovered that my darling husband was very ill. And I didn't know that. I thought he had maybe a problem with alcohol. It was far deeper than that. And I also realized that I had become, once again, I had hid in the spotlight and now I was hiding in caregiving. And only at a moment of desperation, I'd never asked for help before. I remember I was in his psych unit and I said to the nurses, please help me. I don't feel safe anymore. And I felt horrible saying that because I felt like I was betraying him. Yeah. And then I said, but Adria, you're betraying yourself if you don't tell the truth.
That's right. That's right.
But that was really hard. That was a huge challenge. Yeah. And then when that finally resolved itself, that was pretty much 10 years, almost 10 years. And I realized that I hid in the spotlight, then I hid in caregiving. Now, ironically, here I am back in the same situation. I've been at the university for 23 years, and all of a sudden the university is closing and my job is gone. Yeah. And I said, oh, so you've been showing other people and clients, students and clients, how to find their voice. But you didn't have the courage to claim your own, Adria, did you?
Now you're creating stage of your life for yourself. You are the conductor. You write the script. You rehearse and you go. You're your own audience and you show up.
Now it's only me because all the hiding places are gone, Adashir. I can't hide anymore.
I love sorry to interrupt you, for what you just mentioned. Hiding in so many roles. We grow up in roles as a good boy, good girl, then in
Yes.
college, dates, professional, parenting, succession. So when people come to me as a psychologist for therapy, they feel tired. These are people who look great, smell
Yes.
great, their body's
Yes.
great. They say, I'm tired of, I don't know who I am. And people look up to me and I have roles. People depend on me. Who am I? The tiredness is that, where do I start? Something you mentioned, and people ask me, so Artish, I come and do session with you, and then will I wake up one Saturday morning and says, wow, brand new me, and life looks rosy, great answers. And I tell them, the time will come, but it looks different.
Yes.
That somehow the burdens you had, the roles you had, how you were hiding, they won't be there. Or if there are, they will not have as much pull on you. But then here's where it starts. So I then realize I don't have a script anymore. That's where people actually stumble. They get freaked out. They go back to their roles versus, and they say, why? And I tell them the reason is all those years you played somebody else's roles.
Exactly.
And now you realize you need a new script. It will be hard. It'll be frustrating. You will not like yourself. Other people may not like you, but you are the author, you're the player, you're the director.
Life.
You're artist of your life. And that's the best gift. And that's the hardest gift.
It is. It's very hard because once you put down the manuscript, the role that society gives you and expects you to fulfill, when you put that down, it's very difficult to fit in quite as comfortably as you did in the past.
That's right.
And I finally accept that I don't see things as other people see them. I don't hear things as other people hear them. I am Adria. I have a unique viewpoint. I respect that. I respect my intuition. I respect my intellect. I respect most of all my heart. And that I can hold a space for love. Because if everything that I've gone through, the main thing that I learned was that the greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. And it's not, I love you personally. It's holding divine love. It is connecting to something so much bigger.
Yeah, that's right.
And when that is there, when you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning saying, is this all there is? I've designed the most beautiful life. I look around and it just bores me to tears. And I can't stand this anymore. What am I doing? I'm doing everything for everybody. What does anything mean anymore?
And that's depression.
That is depression. And I have been there. Oh man, have I been there.
That's
and
depression.
The only way out of that is one of the reasons why I created Reinvention Architecture.
Tell us about it. Like now you talked about Reinvention Architecture and also your book, and I see behind you, Artist of Your Life. Tell us about it.
What I love about it, Adishir, is that we have to realize that you can't just wave a wand over yourself or smote yourself on the head and say, poof, I'm fine now. That's baloney. Unless you face what you're going through, unless you look at it, unless you get the help that you need to go through it, you're simply going to repeat the habitual because 95% is underneath the water of the iceberg. That controls us because it's habitual. And then there's the 5% at the top that looks so pretty and shiny in the sunshine.
Yes.
Instead, the first pillar of you are the artist of your life is the first pillar of Reinvention Architect is first, accept exactly where you are in your life. Doesn't matter whether you like it.
That is so hard.
Oh, it's so hard. Hard to share. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done.
That's right.
It's so hard. But if you can do that, if you can look at your life and you say, oh, I hate this, but this is the way it is right now. Okay, I see it. Not pretending that it's okay. Not pretending you're fine when you're not fine.
Yes.
So when you accept exactly where you are, how your relationships are, how your relationship with yourself is, do you tell yourself the truth? Where is your integrity? All of these things, once you have the acceptance of where
Yes.
you are, then with that kind of clarity, then you begin asking. So these are 4 A's. Then you ask for what you want instead of
Accept
think
when
you
you
can
ask.
get.
Yes.
Yes. First it's accept and then it's ask. Because we're trained in this society to ask only what you think you're actually going to get.
Yeah.
Instead of asking, no, this is what I want.
This is, yes, life, the bigness of life.
Big, exactly.
Yeah.
And then after that is you begin to act like the person who sees themselves and their lives more clearly. So therefore your actions become different.
Yeah.
And then to me, the thing, so it is first accept, ask, and act like the person you are becoming. And finally, and to me, this is the magic that makes it happen, is allow. This is surrender to divine timing. Yes, I would love to tell you, Ardashir, that it's Saturday, tomorrow at 2:00, there's going to be a yellow car that is going to come up and get me and take me to a beautiful party.
Yeah.
Baloney. Now, if I'm standing there waiting for this car to come and pick me at 2:00, suppose there's a sailing ship in the Hudson River that has my name on it. I'm going to miss it because I'm waiting for the car at 2:00.
That's
because
right.
we get into expectations.
That's
So
right.
if you keep your intention of what you want, but you keep how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, and release it to divine timing, that
right.
is allow.
Allow
And
that.
that's when your life starts becoming so much more relaxed. I was
That's
sitting
right.
there this morning. I had the laziest, most joyous morning. I was just sitting there saying, look how beautifully things are working out.
That's right.
When you asked me, how may I help you? It was such a beautiful thing to say. And I said to you, I don't know. And then I realized, wait a minute, I need visibility. I need aligned visibility. And you said, let's do a podcast. And I thought, look at the beautiful timing of all of this. Look at this, the next top speaker thing that all of a sudden I'm in a competition for speaking. Well, how did that even happen? It just happened.
The world needs to hear that. Let me ask a question. I mean,
Yeah.
in my clinical practice, I see people in their 20s all the way till mid 60s. And sometimes parents ask me if I can meet with their teenagers, which because of my clients, I do that, but I don't do teenage work or something. A couple of times I met with the grandparents.
Yeah.
What I'm really curious, I love to hear your perspective. What I'm seeing, there's a book, Gail he wrote about 15, 20 years ago about seasons of life that that there were different wisdom, different experiences, enlightenment happens, different stages. Like my 20-year-old client and then my 45-year-old client, they have different lens to life, different preference, different angst.
Yes.
So when you talk about your book about the artists of your life, who did you write it for? Is it for all people through life? Are there certain group of individuals? Who are you speaking to?
I thought, in my egoistic conceit, I thought that I was writing this for midlife women who would wake up at 3:00 in the morning and say, is this all there is? And I'm doing too much. I'm taking care of everybody and there has to be more to my life.
Yeah.
But then ironically, I sent it out to a few people to read it first, my beta readers, to tell me what you thought. And one of the women said to me, this has such grounded wisdom in it that this is something I would want to teach my children. And I went,
nice.
And then a man of mine, a fellow artist who is also an author, Hans Aschenbach, Hans said, he wrote an entire page of a review and said to me, Adria, this is not just for women. This is for someone who is not satisfied with their life and they're realizing that at any time they can change it.
That's right.
But they have to become aware of who they are and what it is they don't like. and then start, white out the canvas, pick new colors, pick a new brush, and start a whole new canvas, because we have the power to do that. Is it easy? No. If it was easy, everybody would do it.
And do that. What you talk about, Adria, is the difference between information and wisdom. So I have a wonderful 24-year-old son, and I see him and his buddies. They have a question, AI, ChatGPT, Claude, they get some information about life, emotions, so on.
Yeah.
What you're talking about, their age-old wisdom about accepting, asking, acting, allowing, that is almost working with the rhythm of life, the way that they're supposed to be. Nobody teaches us that. We don't learn that from anybody. And it's almost we get smacked in the face and say, that's what I could have done with a better way. So what you're doing, a way of being that younger people should learn this as a way to go through life and to be alive.
Ardeshir, I agree with you with all my heart, because no one ever taught me this. I had to live the experiences that I lived, and then realize I love AI. I think AI is wonderful. If I want to, I've written something, then I've just thrown out all these thousands of words, and then I say, I know this is too much. Can you make this 2,000 words, please, or 1,000 words? And it'll cut it down. And then but when it comes to the wisdom of yourself, you have to have the courage to sit down and be with yourself. And most of the young ones, one, they don't know how to communicate. They've lost the ability to look in another human's eyes because of their phones. I've been teaching for 23 years at university. So it is those young people, those very young people that I work with. I think they're the ones that have kept me young in so many ways. But they're not taught to communicate. They're not taught to express what they really feel. They look at images that are not even real images and think they need to look that way. Instead of saying, this is who I am.
That's right.
So it's a far deeper thing maybe than I know. I don't know. I just keep saying to my angels and my guides, listen, guide me if I need to be in this place or that place. Use whatever I have learned. I am here with whatever remaining time I have to make the world a better place and to spread love, but self-love, to have people be able to look in a mirror and say, I appreciate you. I love who you are. So because forgive me, go ahead.
I love that. So I believe that all of us at any age, we do our work and we sending a message through our actions, through our voice, through our writings, through our presentations. There are people who need to hear us. They need to So as you're doing your work right now, teaching, speaking, coaching, going on the stage, who are you talking to? Who is we want to say, I want these people to hear me.
I don't think of it. I still have a connection link in my heart with midlife women. I feel very close to them because I think it was the Dalai Lama back in 2009 who said that Western women will heal the world. And I believe that there is a great deal of the feminine when you compare it to the patriarchy, when you talk about the divine feminine, that there is so much that the female can teach, because each of us have male and female inside of us. So I feel very close to the women of this world, but I also...
You have a lived experience.
I've lived it, yes. But when I see my students hugging me and saying, you made me believe in myself, Adria. I believe in myself. I've never met a professor like you. You're so different. And I said, honey, I love you. I'm just holding a space for love. And if I can hold that, whether I'm on stage, whether I'm speaking, whether I'm singing, if I can hold that, Ardeshir, then I am doing what I'm supposed to do. I believe that my message will travel to the hearts that are open to receive it.
That's right. So on that one, What is the message you want people to hear? Imagine you're talking to an audience. What is it you want people to hear, to think, to do?
I feel that love is the greatest thing, the greatest gift that we can give ourselves and others. I think that's number one. That is a link that all of us can give to the other, but first learn how to give it to yourself.
Yeah.
That and the fact that to be loved, to be appreciated, that's why I created Shine. That we all want to shine. What I mean by that is S, we all want to be seen. H, we all want to be heard. I, we want to be included. We want to fit somewhere. We want to be nurtured, and society does not teach us to nurture ourselves. And finally, empowered. And if we empower ourselves,
included, nurtured, and empowered. Oh, I love this.
Because I want us all to shine.
That's right.
But you have to have the courage to share yourself and to put down the mistrust. If there's anybody who had to learn, that was me, to put down the mistrust and know that you are safe. I'm fine. I had a wonderful coach look at me after, I don't know, he hadn't seen me in 10 years, and he went, "You're afraid of your power, Miss Firestone, aren't you?" And I said, "Yes, I had been." I said, "But that's going away." And he said, "And you're always defending yourself." Yes. I said, "Yes, I used to because I needed to." And he said, "But that's old and it's gone." I said, "You're right."
That's right. I'm starting something for our listener, that when you talk about power of Shine, in my book, I talk about power of I matter. That many people are inside corporations. I've been a corporate guy for 30 years or so. So ask my client or listener. Next time you're in a meeting, group meeting, look around and see, as people enter the room, are people seeing their eyes? Are people welcoming them? Or do we only see the ones with title, with budget, with the status? There are many invisible people. They enter, they have great ideas. They want to be seen. They want to be heard. They want to be included, nurtured, empowered, and they don't have that. That's one of the areas, one of the ways that depression, anxiety, and a sense of disengagement builds and metastasizes in organization. That people are there. We don't see people. We see projects and a lot of invisible souls over there. That's how we can change this. That's how we can change this.
Ironically, I never thought that I would even speak in a corporation because I thought I'm so uncorporate. And then I realized, but I have something of value to share, because I'm realizing that every single one of us, I don't care how grandiose you are, how many diplomas you have on the wall, how many billions you have in the bank. You notice now it's gone from millions into billions. But those self-worth, where's the self-worth? Where's the real self-worth? Where is the I meet your eyes and I see you?
That's right.
I don't see that. People are afraid of that.
They're afraid of
playing these roles.
That's right. And then going to roles, we make pseudo construct. In fact, I get invitation, Ardashir, can you come here, talk about engagement in a very respectful way? I say that there's no such thing as engagement. Is a psychology is made. I never come home and says, honey, I felt engaged today. But I would say that I was respected. I was included. Somebody asked my opinion. Somebody wanted to know, hey, can I make your life easier? We need to talk in a language of people, of emotions.
And simple.
That we get it. So, and then we talk about employees not being happy. Because
of course not.
Because we lost the language.
They're not even seen anymore.
That's right.
That's why I kept with that book. I kept finding it and simplifying it and simplify. I got rid of any psychological terms, anything that was 4 syllables. I got rid of it. I said it has to be direct and simple.
That's right.
Because we have to start with essence. Don't give me an image. I want to see your essence. Who are you really?
That's right. I heard
Just
the
like when I met
expression.
you, I felt like you were my brother instantly. I just loved you. And that's it.
Thanks. Same
It's
here.
just really.
I heard this statement several years ago from one of my buddies, say that humans are complex, are not complicated. We are not complicated.
No, we're not. We all want to shine.
We all want to shine. That's how our children want. A teenager, adults, grown-up, grandparents want the same thing too. Somehow
we all do.
We all do. We are common in our basic human needs.
Yes, we are. We are. And somehow, Adria, you and I need, because we understand this so deeply, we need to put this out in the world.
That's right.
And it needs somehow to I don't know, for something to give it a more arc so that it becomes more visible. I don't know.
More access. So, Adria, how do people find you? Where do people find you? And who do you want to actually find you? Who do you want people to call you? Tell us about the way to access you, whom and how and why.
The why, that is up to the person. It depends on what they need. I am a life coach, but I love working with presence. And when I'm working with someone on their business, I don't believe that you can separate the person's business from the person.
That's right.
So if it's corporate, and I've had people that I've worked with about presence, they want corporate presence. I said, all I want to do is connect you to your essential authority. That's right. I don't want to turn you into somebody fake, because that's not real, and you can't sustain that. You have to find what's real inside of you. So if someone wants to work on their presence, on their authority, on embodied authority, that's body language, that's voice, that's how you sound, how you express yourself. I love doing that. And I also love working with small groups of women, taking them through my book. I have an Artist of Your Life intensive, where it's just 6 to 8 women. And we go through the book, but very intensely in 12 weeks, that they're really having companions and guidance through their own reinvention.
That's beautiful.
Because it needs...
I'm sorry, you do this in person and virtual, correct? People can be...
Both, yes. Virtually is no problem at all. I do that all the time. I do a lot of speaking virtually too. So I feel that you can find me on my website very easily, adriafirestone.com, and that's ADRIA. There's no U. It's firestone.com. And also, I would love to give your listeners a gift. If they go to adriafirestone.com/book, they can download the first chapter of my book free, that they can see what it's like and see if they like it.
Wonderful. So I will provide all of these links to your assets, where to find you. Good. And also, is it okay if I put some of your links to your YouTube singing on the stage?
Or of course.
I loved it when I'm watching them. Ask my wife, honey, come here. Look at it. This is beautiful.
Oh, that's delightful. And what I love is that for 20 years, I didn't sing. When I walked off the stage, literally 20 years, I didn't utter a note. And now I'm singing again, and it's very natural, and it's part of my cells. It would be like removing part of me. It's just part of my way of expression.
Love your voice. That's beautiful. So let me bring us home.
Okay.
Reinvention, as Adria Firestone talked about, is not a sign that something went wrong.
No.
We all have great assets, great stories, and great promise. When we struggle, it's a sign that something has grown. We are in, as I say, we are in a different neighborhood. Get back home, and that's where you begin to lead. And thank you so much, Adria. I enjoyed our conversation, and this will be available to our listeners to join this conversation in their journey of growth and continuous becoming.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
We will wish you lots of success.
Thank you so much, Ardeshir. What a pleasure. As I say, I feel like you're my brother. I just love you dearly. And I love your view of the world and the view of humans, and how much respect you have for the human race. So keep healing.
Thank you. Let's solve everything. We'll talk again.
Yes, we will. Thank you, dear one.
Thank you.